Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I hope everybody's doing well today. I welcome you guys to Brundidge, Alabama. Now, for those of you that have been watching my channel for the last couple of years, some of you might remember the last video of Brundage I did. Well, I thought I would redo that video, so to speak. On this video, I'm going to drive you guys through much more of the town than I did on the video that I did a couple of years ago. And also, on this video, I'm using my GoPro. As we're on the last video I did of Brundage, I just used my little cell phone. So on this video, the footage is going to be better quality, and plus you're going to see more of the city. And I got a lot more information about the community than I had on the last video. So with all that being said, let's get into it. Now, Brundidge, Alabama is located in southern Alabama. It is an hour south of Montgomery. It is located off of Route 231. It's an hour from Montgomery. And the closest is an hour from Montgomery. It's about, I want to say it's about, I guess depending on traffic and how you drive, it's about 15 minutes south of Troy, Alabama. If you're interested in watching my Troy, Alabama video, it's on this channel. And roughly speaking, it's a little over an hour north of Dothan. So if you're in Brundage and you're on 231, if you drive an hour or so south, you'll be in Dothan. And also there's Ozark, Alabama, which is about 20 miles or so from here. If you're interested in looking at that video, it's also on this channel. But anyhow, the population of Brundidge, Alabama is 2,073 people, and as of the 2020 census, they have experienced a 0.1% population loss. So basically, the population during the last census has pretty much stayed stagnant. It hasn't done anything for the most part. Now, Brundage has been losing people steadily since 1990. In 1990, this city lost 23.1% of its population. In 2000, they lost another 5.39%, and in 2010 they lost an additional 11.3%. And then, of course, during this last census of 2020, they lost 0.1%. Now, the population here peaked in 1980 at 3,213 people. And the largest racial groups here are going to be 25.5% white, 67% black, and 2% Hispanic. And I'm going to give you guys just a brief history about this community. This town was founded by George C. Collier before the Civil War. At this time, the town was named Collier's Store in 1854. The town name was changed to Brundage to honor James M. Brundage, a prominent citizen of the town and business owner. I believe he owned a couple of businesses here at the time. Brundage was an agricultural community after the Civil War. From this point forward, the town began to grow. Midland Railway was established here in 1889. As a result of the railway, several hotels and businesses opened. A passenger train called Southwind passed through the town. In 1893, Brundage was incorporated as a town. In 1900, Brundage Banking opened along with First National Bank in 1904. Brundage even had 3 newspapers: the Brundage Centennial that began publishing in 1926, the Brundage Banner in 1962, and I should have mentioned this first, but whatever, but the Brundage News, which they were actually the first paper that published in this community. They first began to publish in 1893. Now I'm gonna butcher this person's name, so forgive me, but Alonza, that's Alonza E. Johnson, a native of Brundage, opened a peanut butter mill and oil company in the 1920s here. So that's just a brief history about the city. Now, if you're looking to move here, I'll get to that I'm gonna go ahead and say what I'm gonna say. Now, if you're looking to move here, obviously this is a small city, so town. So when it comes to employment opportunities, many people that live here, for those that live here and work here in town, the largest employer here in town is going to be the Walmart Distribution Center, which currently employs about 800 people. Now, if you do not desire, or you're not physically capable of working at the Walmart Distribution Center, then, as far as it goes for employment opportunities, depending on what occupation that you work, you can either drive about 20 minutes, give or take, into Troy, or you can drive up an hour or so. Well, yeah, I'm talking roughly. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up for you guys real quick. Brundidge, Alabama to Dothan, Alabama. Yeah, Brundidge, Alabama to Dothan, Alabama is 52 minutes away. So it's an hour. And you're looking at 45 miles. But of course, that depends on what side of Dothan that you're going to be traveling to for work. So about an hour, give or take, from here, you can be in Dothan, Alabama. So when it comes to employment opportunities, if you're not wanting to work at the Walmart Distribution Center, you can either you can drive an hour south into Dothan, or you can drive about 20 minutes or so into Troy. Now, 20 miles or so from here, you got Ozark, Alabama. Now, Ozark, I don't mean to talk. Now, for those of you that are watching this video and you live in Ozark, you like Ozark, I'm not being disrespectful. I don't mean to be disrespectful for those of you that like Ozark, but the economy in Ozark is not that good. Ozark is a small city. They're losing people. And yeah, they got some jobs in Ozark, but not too many. So if you're looking to move here to Brundage, when it comes to employment opportunities, your best bet is going to be either Troy or Dothan. those are going to be your two closest cities to here when it comes to employment opportunities. Now, and also, you're also within an hour of Montgomery. In fact, Montgomery, Alabama is an hour away from here. So if you don't mind driving an hour into work, you can also drive into Montgomery, Alabama for work. So that's one good thing about living here in Brundage, is the fact that you're not gonna, within an hour of here, you can either go into Montgomery for work, which is an hour north of here. Just stay on 231. For those of you that are not familiar with Alabama, or you can go south and go into Dothan, and also you have Ozark, and you also have Troy. So there's several communities that are larger that you can go into when it comes to locating employment opportunities if you're a 9-to-5 worker and you're looking to living here in Brundage. So so that's one good thing about Brundage. It's what was I going to say? And also, let me keep going here. Now, before I say anything more about Brundage, let's talk about the crime for a minute. Now, the overall crime here is 37.5 per 1,000 people. So, overall crime is going to be 51% above national average. Now, as far as it goes for your violent crime is 4.4 people per 1,000 residents. So 4.4 people per 1,000 residents will be a victim of a violent crime, which is lower than which is well below national average. So 30% of all cities are going to be safer than Brundage. 70% of all cities are going to be more dangerous than Brundage. Now, when it comes to property crime here is a bit on the high side. The majority of the overall crime rate here, when I read the overall crime rate a second ago, the majority of those crimes are property crime related. So if you move here to Brundage, you're probably not going to have to worry so much about someone coming up to you and doing something violent to you. You're probably not going to have to worry so much about someone whacking you and then that's the end of you, or someone just punch you in the face or anything crazy like that. The probability of you, going on a vacation for a week or two and then coming back home and someone that kicked your door down and broke into your house and took some of your valuables, the probability of something like that happening here in Brundage is going to be much greater. And again, I say that, and I'm going to say this. It's going to depend on what side of the city that you live on. Now, if you live in the poor section of the city, stuff like that is going to be more prone to happen. As where if you live like maybe on the outskirts of the city, or you live in one of the areas of the city or town that's I'll just say a little better off, then chances of that kind of thing happening will be less. But anyhow, property crime here is going to be 2,971 people per 100,000 people. So for every 100,000 people, 2,971 people are going to be victims of property crime, which is 52% above national average. And for those of you that live in Brundage, please don't get upset at me all I'm doing is spitting out the data that I researched here online. I mean, these are not numbers that I just made up. I'm not telling you guys how I feel when it comes to reading crime data. I'm just, you know, I'm just telling you guys the information that I researched before I made this video. God knows somebody's gonna get mad at me and, oh man, you talking down my city, you talking down my city. You don't know nothing about this city. And you know what? I don't know a lot about Brundage because I don't live here. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know everything about Brundage because I don't. However, the data is what the data is. Now is the data that I research, is it gonna always be accurate? No. And I do admit that as well. But for the sake of me making this video, I'm gonna use the data that I've researched. So anyways, if you're looking to move here to Brundage, the median rent price is going to be $637 a month, and the median home price is going to be $125,000. And the lowest price house right now that's for sale on Realtor.com here in Brundage is going to start at $100,000. So Brundage is a relatively affordable place to live. I mean, and I'm gonna be honest with you people, until I came out here the other day and drove around this community for the sake of making this video for you guys, I had no idea that Brundage had this much open land. So I'm gonna be honest. I mean, there's parts of this community that I actually think that I can see myself moving to if I was still looking to move somewhere in Alabama. I mean, I'm happy where I'm at now, but I'm just saying. So I think when it comes to living here in Brundage, it all depends on where you choose to live. Now, I don't really like to say, okay, move on this side of town, don't move on that side of town. And I think as you guys watch the video, you guys are gonna have a pretty good idea of where you might feel comfortable moving and where you may not want to move. And then of course, it depends on what your budget is. Because you can want to live somewhere all you want, but if your finances don't support it, then you're not going to be there. But I don't really like to get too much into don't move on this side of town, go to that side of town. Now sometimes I'll get into that type of a conversation, but in this case, I'm not going to. I mean, I think if you're looking to live here in Brundage or anywhere else, your best bet is to just jump in your vehicle, drive out here, fly out here, set feet on the ground, drive around the community for yourself, and then you'll get a feel of where you might want to live. Alright, folks. On Niche, there's a total of 6 reviews about Brundage. Out of 6 reviews, this community scores a 4 out of a 5 star. 5 people voted that this city was a good place to live, was a very good place, and 1 person said excellent. So let's read them. Well, I'm not going to read all of them, I'm just going to read some. Okay, here's a 5-star from 8 months ago. A very progressive town. They had a pride event in June. Very successful, very well attended. I love Brundage. Okay, now we'll jump into the 4 stars. Now this one is a 4-star. It was written May of 2020. I like that Brundage is a small country town where everyone just about knows each other, which makes it easier to network and find jobs or just get around the town. However, I do wish there were more job opportunities for those that graduate opposed to the warehouse jobs. For those of you that don't realize this about Alabama, if you're looking to move to Alabama, I'm gonna tell you people right now that Southern Alabama for the most part. Now Alabama for the most part is a blue collar state. So let's start there. Now, for those of you that have the higher level degrees and you're looking for a white collar job that pays a higher level of income, your best bet is going to be to either A, move somewhere in northern Alabama, like, the greater Huntsville area, or B, you're going to want to at least locate closer to a larger city in Alabama. Rather it be, Huntsville would be your best bet. But, there's, you got all the suburbs in Birmingham, you got Montgomery, you got all the suburbs in Mobile. And for those of you that are in education, there's even Tuscaloosa. But when you get to this region of Alabama, that Brundage is located in, southern Alabama, the majority of your jobs are going to be blue collar, and the pay is not going to be all that great. Some of these jobs pay decent. Now the Walmart distribution center, they do pay decent, but a lot of other jobs in this region of Alabama, and the pay's not going to be the greatest. So if you're looking to live in southern Alabama, my advice to you is move here with a skill. Rather it be you're having a Class A CDL, rather it be something like plumbing, electrical work, something of that sort. Because to be quite frank with you people, you're going to most likely end up making more money and have way more job opportunities if you move to this region of Alabama with a trade, as opposed to some fancy college degree. Now, with that being said, if you have a degree in something in the medical field, like nursing for an example, and you move to southern Alabama, you'll be living around here like a king or a queen. But if you come around here and you got some of them other type of degrees, you might wanna look into some other region of Alabama. Like I said a second ago, check out northern Alabama. Okay, so let's keep on going down the comments here. Down the reviews here. Now here's another 4-star review from May of 2018. This one's a little older. Brundage is a small town in Pike County, Alabama. It is a friendly place, and the school system offers great opportunities for high school students to get a head start on their higher education. And I'm going to read one more. This is from November of 2017. Another 4-star. Small, quiet town. All is good. Just needs more businesses. Great public high school and elementary school. Alright folks, that's going to do it for my commentary. I hope you guys enjoy the tour of Brundidge, Alabama. I mean, like I said, I wanted to come back and redo the video because I wanted to give you guys a more in-depth I wanted to be a little bit more in depth with you people when it came to Brundage. Because I made my video about Brundage before, yeah, I said a few things. I gave you all a little bit of information, but not as much as I'm doing on this video. And when it came to the showing of the city, I mean, like I said, this time I'm using my GoPro, as for the last time I used a cell phone. So the quality of the picture is a lot better for those of you that are seriously considering moving to Brundage. Now, if you were to come around to South Alabama and you were to ask around about Brundage, I mean, I'm going to tell y'all right now that some people, they'll tell you, yeah, Brundage is a wonderful place to live. It's quiet, it's country, not much goes on. It's a good place to live. As long as you stay away from the wrong people, when it comes to the crime, you don't really got nothing to worry about. And you got other people that would tell you, no, don't go to Brundage. Brundage is no good. The crime is too high, whatever. So Brundage, in my opinion, is one of those communities where you definitely want to come here and visit for yourself and step foot on the soil and step foot on soil and just get a feel. And no, just get a feel of the community, and then you can make your own decision from that point. I mean, I would say that you should do that for any community, but Brundage is one of those communities where I definitely will say that. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say Brundage is a bad place to live, because I'll be honest, like at first I probably would have said some negative things about Brundage. But at this point, I don't know. I mean, I think it depends on where in the community that you reside, on what your experience here is going to be. Now, for those of you that are here, if you like the city, if you like the town, drop a comment below. If you don't like the town, drop a comment below and tell us why. So on that note, y'all have a good one. I mean, there's like a few minutes left of the video, so I would appreciate if you watch those for the remaining few minutes. But this is gonna be it for the commentary aspect of the video, so I'm going to take this opportunity to thank everybody for tuning in and watching another video. And if you like what I'm doing, all you gotta do to support me is to give videos like this a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, consider doing that. On that note, stay blessed.